beyond just the traditional Western allies. We've been able to get the global community to speak out and act out against Mr. Putin. But as you point out, there are several significant countries that are on the wrong side of history here. And sitting on the sideline is the wrong side of history. You can't take a pass on this one. This is good versus evil. And yes, we are disappointed. As President Biden has indicated, particularly as it relates to China, there are consequences if China continues to provide the support for Mr. Putin being able to prosecute this campaign. And we are clearly disappointed by a country like India that we think should have done a lot more. They have not been helpful at all. So there are countries that we're disappointed with, but I do want to point out that there's a lot more international unity than we ever expected.
Can you say another beat on China and what else we might do? And I mean, I have to say that I kind of winced at some of the headlines because I don't know if announcing threats to China is effective, but I am curious what you what you think would be in the works, because I haven't seen all that much evidence that they will back away from their what the statement that they made, that President Xi made with President Putin shortly before this began.
I would characterize it a little bit differently. We're not threatening China. China is very strategic in how it makes decisions. They want to do things that benefit their country. They're very narrowly focused as to how they can get an advantage over a circumstance. And they use rules that are different than our rules in order to put themselves in a position where they can get things that we think are wrong. So they have, but they're strategic. And I think what Mr. President Biden was saying is that, in fact, China is providing help for Mr. Putin to be able to pursue this war. Then there may be actions taken that will not be in China's interest. We don't think there's a close, fuzzy relationship between Russia and China. There's some who believe that China is rooting for both Russia and the West to lose in this campaign so they can gain. So we do not necessarily believe they're there to help Russia. And we think we can try to change that equation a little bit to back them off on some of the things they're doing that help Mr. Putin.
Any more details? Are we just talking secondary sanctions, or is this some other kind of?
Well, no, secondary sanctions are clearly on the table. They're controversial, as you know. We don't always get the same unity with our European partners on secondary sanctions, but secondary sanctions are clearly some of the issues that we're looking at. There is a concern that if you don't stop Russia and Ukraine, it will spread to other countries, i.e. Russia. But as far as other countries' behavior, I don't think that's the reason why we're doing this. We are concerned, obviously, about Taiwan and China, and we recognize the risk factors of other countries. But there's a major difference. I strongly support Taiwan in the arrangements that we have with Taiwan. But Taiwan and China is a lot different than Russia and Ukraine. So we got to be able to draw distinctions in what we're dealing with. We would very much provide the type of support that we're committed to in regards to Taiwan. So we clearly are engaged in that.